AFKs under tower, and I'm just like, I can't really push into him like to take plates because he's a ranged champion. There's nothing for me to really do.
Okay. I think that with better wave control, we can like force him into positions where he does have to interact with you, and you can like run him down, wrap around the wall, things like that. Okay, the full Mutal based. All right, so in this lane phase, pre-level 6, what do you want to do? What's your goal here?
Depending on how he plays, I want to kill him, but if he's aggressive, probably not. But I know he doesn't have fleet, which means he's a lot easier for me to trade with.
Yep. And what do you want to start?
I'm waiting to see what he starts. E if he's going to be aggressive, Q if he's not. And he starts a wrong way, so I start Q.
Okay. So with the lane, if we go back, what do you think your goal is here in this lane phase? Like, where do you want to keep the wave? Where do you think you have the most kill pressure? Things like that.
So I want it to shove into me, and I also think I want to play defensive until I'm level 3 so that I can actually start trading with him.
Okay. Well, that's good then, because that's like what you're doing. One thing I was thinking is like you do have the possibility, if we go back one more, if you wanted to, you could like look to rush 3 here. You could like walk up and look to like trade through these creeps onto him with your Qs.
Yeah.
I think though, I think this is fine. This is a very like passive lane. Like this guy hasn't autoed you a single time.
Yeah, I know. I took Doran's shield in second wind, and he doesn't auto me. I'm just like, already then.
Yeah, like this guy is not autoing you at all. You're basically just like getting to control the wave for free, like as you would wish. I think he started W first. Did he? Or did he just get W then? Okay, so he started Q and didn't chuck a single Q level 1. Yeah, so that's weird. So first off, like I think the first thing, I don't know if you noticed that, but did you know what he started?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yep, E. That's normal. I think you should have like, E the auto. Just since like why not? Why not stay full health kind of thing? Nice, this is a good trade. The thing though that I think that you did wrong here is see how you click back?
Yeah.
So if we watch this trade again, what happens when you click back here after this trade? Like what's gonna, I guess like, okay, so you're gonna Q here, right? Like this is the last part of your ability, sorry, your combo. You can like Q and auto once more, right? To like make it like a full combo.
Yeah.
Now if you click back here, all of these creeps get to aggro you as you're running back, and he gets to auto you as you're running back, right?
So I should go into the bush to drop aggro.
Exactly, yeah. So what I would do here is I would look to try and queue this way, right? So that you're standing here, and then you can auto once more, walk into the bush, and then walk down. And you instantly cut off the creep aggro. The way he could outplay that is he could ward the bush preemptively before you walk into it. But firstly, that's good because it means he doesn't have a ward, right? And he's pushing in, and your Diana's is pathing to you. So that would even be like a good thing for you.
Sure.
But secondly, your creep wave, like when you queue to here, right, you're so close to your creep wave, I think that the creeps might not even aggro you, even if you water the bush. So that's just like the way you'd make this trade like much better. Because if we look at this health that you're on right now, say 600, right? But now we've been chunked all the way down to 400, so we've lost like 200 health. So if we go back to here and you walk to bush, I think you're going to take far less damage. And also, this guy is probably not going to be able to even auto you.
Yeah.
And you can see all the creep damage you're taking there. I'd say you take like an extra 60 or so damage from the creeps. And then I feel like this guy gets to auto you more times than he should. I feel like you shouldn't do this. Because if this guy Qs onto you, I feel like there's like he's not going to kill you, but he just chunks you so much for no reason. Like it's not playing towards your win condition here. So this is kind of like you see him use an ability, right? It's like so you just like use your abilities back at him, kind of thing.
In all reality, I was trying to queue to get that one minion and I missed it.
Oh, okay. So that's even like a worse decision making thing, right?
Yeah.
Because nothing's even hitting the creep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't want to take like damage for one caster. It's just it. Basically, when you're looking to like get a creep, you want to think like, is this creep like actively putting me closer to my win condition or further from my win condition? And you should think of like win conditions as like small moments in time. So like when we're here, say after this trade, right? Our win condition after this trade is to take as little damage as possible. So that would be walking into the bush, right? That's like how we make a small win there. And then here when he goes Mega, our win condition is, okay, we want to try and keep the wave outside our tower, right? We don't want to take extra damage. So it's like, let him use his abilities. If he fucks up, then you can move in and hit some of these creeps. But if he doesn't fuck up, then you just have to let him crash, and then you'll farm level 3 underneath tower, and you'll have the slow push back where you can kill him on, right? So you'll be able to kill him on maybe like wave 5, wave 6.
Yeah, sure.
And like, ideally, right, it is ideal if we don't let him crash, but it's just, it's risky, and then also the way you play it is also not good, right? Like we shield nothing, things like that. We don't like really hit our Qs. It's better off to just let him crash it. Diana's still going to have good gank opportunities. There's no like downside. One thing I also think is you should be like pinging for assistance here. Like, there's an active gank ready in my lane, if that makes sense.
Yeah, sure.
Because like your jungler might not even be aware of the situation topside right now. For some reason, you know what I mean? Like whatever reason. He just might not be aware.
Because it's low elo and junglers don't have eyes.
Yeah, you could say that. Here, what mistake do you make? I'm gonna run it back another 5 seconds, right, and let you have a look at this like scenario. What mistake do you make here in your mind?
Shouldn't have killed that last creep. Should have kept it at 4.
Well, why?
To try and no, I should just not let it get into tower range.
Exactly. Should just not let it get into tower range. Even if you don't freeze, it's good to just keep him at that position where he's very susceptible to a gank, and you can also chase him down. So if we go back in time, what you could look to do here is you could look to position over this way, and you still have your E, right? Basically, you don't need to keep these creeps out for very long. And these little small things, right? They don't win you the game, but they add up. And, as you take more and more of these very small wins, you do get closer to winning. And like here, right, you could have like got that creep too with like using your Q better.
Yep.
But like if we look at the lane here, this is a far safer position for Na to be in than if it was here.
Yeah.
Like he's enjoying this position a lot more. And I think Diana will look at this also and be like, oh, it's not that gankable, if that makes sense. Like she'll be like, oh, it's like kind of hard to gank. Good trade. That is pretty much as good as you could possibly do. So he wastes the Q, walks back up for an auto. Yeah, nice. Good stuff.
And I turn back in here because he gets greedy.
Yep. Do you flash?
After he does.
Ah, okay.
Oh no, I don't even flash. Okay. I thought I did.
I think there's 2 ways that you look to play this, right? Is here, you flash W on top of him, and then auto E QQQ, run him down, right? Or you do what you do here, but you EQ instead of W. So you EQ, right? Because then you're going to expect him to most likely flash, right? And then you can QW on him again. if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if this guy doesn't try to auto you down and like look to trade kills, he can just live here.
Yeah.
If he just runs here, he should just win. I mean, he should just be able to get out, I think.
I didn't need to ignite either.
Uh,
I kill him with that last auto anyway, I think, without ignite.
I don't know. I think ignite is fine there, personally. Even if you don't need to ignite, I feel like it's such a... Oh, actually, what abilities do you have up? You don't have any abilities. Yeah. I think you do need to ignite.
Okay.
I think also it's even better if you ignite sooner. Like if you ignite here, where you were going to W.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I think ignite is good there. Alright, and then what should you do as soon as you get that kill?
I try and crash so I can reset, but...
Okay, so, and what goes wrong here?
I can't crash fast enough.
Well, you could crash fast enough. What goes wrong?
Not sure.
Well, look at how you use your abilities.
Yeah, miss my Q on all of the wave.
Yeah, just like in general, the way you use your abilities here is just like very sloppy, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just, you're not dealing the damage you should be able to do here. So what I would recommend is here you probably auto this one and then so like you auto Q and then Q through it all.
Yeah, sure.
Because you even missed the creep. And then you like Q back that way. Or the other thing you could do, which is like, you know, kind of like the beginner way you could do it, is you just like walk up to the backline and like Q auto the backline ones. So you would like use 2 Qs and 3 autos. And like you would use your W on the frontline ones, etc. as you're like getting there. I mean, there's actually a million ways you can shove this wave, right? What you just want to think about is like, how can I maximize my AoE spells to hit the most targets at once?
Mm-hmm.
And here, the way you did it, you didn't do that. And then now you're going to get frozen out on and like potentially even die here or have to flash. Okay, you don't have to flash, but you're getting frozen on like very hard. So how many creep waves are we going to miss because of this? A lot.
Yep.
Also, actually, one more thing that I need to show you, right? Which just comes to my mind now, is, okay, we kill him. You run back for these creeps, right? What I think you probably should do is you should just start hitting these creeps up front. And not even go back for these creeps.
Okay.
Now, here's the reason. You are low, so we need to keep that in mind. But if we go back in time, see where the creep wave is? They are like stuck here right now. Well, actually, you have 2 options here. That one that I didn't even notice. You could just instantly base. You could walk in here and base.
Uh-huh.
Oh, no, okay. You can't. You have 4 casters. Well, you could base. You're not going to lose as much as you lost, right, if you just insta-based. But this is the option that I would most likely do, right? So you sit in this bush for a second, you let them kill this creep, right? And then you come out of the bush and you hold the creep wave up closer to his tower. The reason that's beneficial is that it means that your creep wave is closer to crashing, like proximity to the tower. So it doesn't have to walk as far. And also, you get to start hitting this creep wave as soon as possible. If you notice, you run all the way back here, wasting like crucial seconds, and then when you start hitting the wave, you're not using your spells like instantly, right? Like you want to use your spells as soon as you get the chance to, when you're trying to crash the wave.
Okay.
It's like a lot of people, they like conserve their spells when they're trying to push the wave. It's like, for what? Because they're not in the mindset of like, I need to crash this wave no matter what. That is like my win condition in this moment, is like crash this wave as quickly as possible. I think, you know, the ultimate best play here was probably just recall on the spot. But most people aren't going to do that. Even I probably wouldn't do that. You know, it's just something you see in VOD review. And yeah, what I think the most realistic thing that you want to do there is just use your spells better and keep the wave closer to the enemy tower.
Okay.
You should use your abilities to get back to wave here too. Like, you should E off cooldown as soon as it comes up here. And then, yeah, Q back to it. You should always pretty much, like, use your spells all the way back to lane. And you're pretty lucky here, because Gnar fucks up the wave. This would freeze forever. So you kind of get saved in that regard. And now you're not really behind gold and XP either. I think you can hold this wave also, because you're so strong and you have all your spells.
I should hold it outside of tower range.
Yeah, hold the wave. Alright, so you just need 2 creeps, and then you can all in him here with 6. That's what I would look for. Yeah, I like that you're hitting the wave as little as possible. Then you get this next creep, and then you just all in him. I would try not to auto this creep too much at all, because I want this creep to die so that he has to walk up and try and hit one of these backline creeps. So he's closer proximity to you. But see, because you hit this now and you proc 6, he knows you're 6 now, so he's not going to contest anything, and he's just going to back off, most likely. And now you don't get that, like, surprise second kill, if that makes sense.
Sure, yeah.
Like, see how he's, like, playing in basically Narnia right now? Also, something I notice that you do is, like, you last hit... Well, actually, first, what do you want to do in the wave state here? Like, if we go all the way back in time.
Probably want it to push to me.
You want it to push to you, right? Okay, so how would you do that? Because it's pushing to you right now. The whole time it's pushing to you.
Just lost it as just lost it only. Don't push it at all.
Exactly. But you're like firstly you're like autoing the wave, but secondly you also use CS instead of last hitting. It's like you kill the cannon on like say 100 health when you could wait for it to be on 13 health. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So in this position you want to basically like last hit, in terms of freezing, not CSing. And you'll do that like pretty consistently here. You'll see with all these creeps, you're basically killing them as soon as they get into range to die. Okay. See here where he walks forward? There's like potential you could kill him if you Q on him or flash Q him. But it'll be like hard. But because he's also going to have no E, you're going to have no spells, but he's going to have no E. It's not worth. Proximity to tower is too close, I think. I feel like it could work, but it's like greedy and like open to misplay, and like depends how well the Gnar plays it, uses his move speed to get away.
I'm also a bit hesitant just because never see Gnar, so I don't know what his cooldowns are like. Like champs like Set, I have their cooldowns basically memorized because I see that champ so often.
Yeah, gotcha. Well, yeah, Gnar's Q is like not that long, and it's actually kind of long in the early game, but like if he lands it or it catches it like that, right? It's not very long. It's like 9 seconds, I think. I think his E is like 15 to 18 seconds. Don't know off the top of my head. But yeah, learning all these like matchup specific things is definitely going to help a lot. Alright, what should you do here?
Probably base for boots and a cloth armor.
Exactly, yeah. Oh, I would probably say boots longsword. Because that's going to start building into your gold drinker. And you want to base like as soon as possible in that scenario, but you're not standing in the bush here too.
Yeah.
I think that you're like very aimless here with what to do with your waves and stuff, and that's why you probably find the matchup boring.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you're just shoving the wave into Gnar, and now he's just gonna CS the wave at max range again underneath his tower. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I reckon you're gonna shove this next wave too. I reckon you're gonna queue the back line probably. Okay. You don't shove it as much as I presumed you would, but you still do shove it a little bit. But you look for the trade, which is good. Yeah, all this is a mistake, right? And let's go back in time so I can show you where the mistake really lies. See, like, you can't really do anything here. You're not getting any new lead by being in lane here. If we go back to now, if you insta-recall as soon as you kill this creep, like, just, like, QE away, what's going to happen is Nara's going to have to slow push this next wave back to you. And it's a cannon wave. Meanwhile, you're going to be running from base with boots plus longsword and queuing back to lane. You're going to be back to lane in, like, 17 seconds. It'll take you like 17, 18 seconds travel time and 8 seconds recall, so it's like 25 seconds to get back to lane. Is Gnar gonna kill all these creeps and crash the next wave in 25 seconds? I don't think so. So he's gonna be low, down items, and overextended when you get back to lane, and you're gonna have boots to chase him down. You just all in him. You know what I mean? And then there's your fight, there's your kill, there's your excitement too. Whereas what you're doing now, it's like this like creates this stalemate because you're not taking a base timer.
Yeah, makes sense.
I guess there's like some wave control things. I'm not sure if you know. Like, so if we go back to this situation, what's going to happen with the waves here? Like, who's the wave pushing to? Like, say you and Gnar both don't touch the wave. Where does the wave go?
You'll slowly push back to me?
Yeah, well, right. And how do we know when the wave's going to slow push back to you? There's a way to know every single time.
I don't know.
Okay, so if the enemy creep wave does not meet your creep wave in the center, then it's going to slow push back to you.
Okay.
Because what's going to happen, right, is the creeps get slowed down here, and then the next wave is going to meet here, right? So you're going to have your 6 creeps here. Well, when the next set of waves come down, they're going to greet this wave sooner and reinforce it, and then create the slow push. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when you crash the wave, you can always tell whether it's going to slow push or meet back in the middle based on whether the enemy wave is going to get caught on this wave, right? And so you can tell that every single time by looking at your wave. So when you like observe waves coming out of this base, you'll like kind of figure out how fast they go. And then you'll be able to figure out like when you crash a wave, you'll look back at your wave and be like, okay, the wave's going to slow push to me. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like 100% makes sense, or like you're just saying yeah?
No, it makes sense. I'm just going to have to remember it.
Okay. Well, yeah, you'll be able to rewatch over this VOD, so that's like a thing for you.
Yeah.
Alright, nice. So let's skip back in time to where we were. Okay, so you finally take the base here. Wait, we kill Gnar? How do we kill Gnar?
Oh, yeah, I misplay on this kill as well.
That's okay.
Like, I already know a misplay I do, which is just being greedy.
Wow, he lets you kill him so easily.
Yeah, I greeded my ult when I should have just ulted to make sure I get the kill, and then
I don't even think you need to. And also, the thing about your ult is there's not really a good weave to get your ult in. The thing... Yeah, and I think this is fine. I mean, he could have flashed, but... I feel like you could just ignite anyway. So even though ignite is longer cooldown here, I would kind of think that using ignite is actually better because like your ult is going to mean more on the next fight, and you could probably just run him down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then here you should just base on the spot, like right here, just be, because there's no one here to stop you. So you don't want to waste these seconds before you base often, unless there's like a reason to wait, like, you know, move more. You basically want to recall as soon as possible. Okay, nice. I was thinking you could have gone tier 2 boots here. And the reason being is just because Gnar is like, you know, slightly fast champion and ranged, and tier 2 boots will help you cross that gap quicker.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, but at this stage, I wasn't sure if I wanted to go Mercs or CDR boots. I think I ended up going CDR,
Yeah,
but
that's okay. And again, I think you should be like using your EQ back to lane again, because it would be off cooldown again by the time you get back to lane.
yeah. Mhm.
And it just saves that extra bit of time. Also, here, should you run straight at him? What could you do instead?
Try and get in the bushes.
Alright, exactly. Why is getting in the bush good here?
I don't know.
Okay,
I'm
well,
just
what's
surprised
the
they
wave doing right now?
I assume slowly pushing back to me based on where he is with it.
Okay, but how would we know whether it's slow pushing back to you? Because we can know that again, right?
Because it's with him on his side.
Yeah, so if we go and look at how he crashed the wave. Look at this, right? Okay, so look at your creep wave when it gets underneath the tower. It's underneath tower now, right?
Yep.
Now you're recalling, you look at your wave here. Now that's exactly where the enemy's wave is, right? Is the enemy's wave going to get to these creeps before they're all killed or not?
Probably not, because there's a lot of them.
Yeah, well, we can figure it out, right? Let's go look. How many creeps is there?
8.
Well, yeah, there's 8, right? And then if we look at these creeps, right, these 8 creeps, this is 3 auto attacks per creep to kill. So that's 9 tower shots, right? Just these. 10 tower shots. Oh, sorry, 11 tower shots, 12 tower shots, 13 tower shots, 15, 17.
Okay.
So a lot of tower shots, right?
Yeah.
So definitely not going to kill them all, right? Like you can actually even literally see it on your screen by the time you recall, but it's better to learn how to figure it out first, right? Because you can do this in your head.
Sure. Yeah.
So now we get back to lane. Why is it good to sit in the bush?
I don't know.
Well, what does Gnar have to do right now?
I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. So Gnar, the wave is slow pushing back to you, right? So Gnar has 2 choices. He either freezes the wave as much as he can, so that means he like doesn't interact with the wave and just takes the creeps. He doesn't do any extra damage. And why he would do that is he wants to stack up a really fat wave and crash it, right? So he can then get a reset off. Mm-hmm. Or Gnar comes back to lane and hard shoves the wave. So either way, it doesn't really matter to you because all your abilities are AoE as Riven. So even if Gnar is in the middle of a fat wave, you could just go on him and you're going to kill the wave anyway. So say you sit in this bush, or you get into this bush. This would be better if you can get into this one. You let Gnar push the wave in, and you watch Gnar, he throws his Q. You just all in him. You just press R in the bush and run on him. And then you get to chase him down the whole lane.
Yeah.
So Gnar can't do anything there, right? He's just like getting like basically stalemated. There's nothing he can do. Whereas now when he sees you in the lane, this kind of like, there's less ability for you to get a kill here. Like, you're scared of the wave, you don't want to tank all the wave, fair enough. You know, he's just able to force in the wave. So he doesn't get punished at all here. He gets to get off his like win condition in this moment, right? Which is get the wave crash without getting punished. Even here, also, there's also another outplay for you, right? You want to prevent this wave from crashing. So when you see Gnar move off to the side here...
Just tank it with my E and then...
Yeah,
my way.
right now. You just walk back up. And you tank with your E, and you can like W the wave to get it to stop hitting you, and then you move into the bush.
Yeah, okay.
And when there's that many creeps, right, you can actually do damage and like W them and things like that just to stun them so that you're not taking extra damage. Like something people like don't think about often. I'll like see sometimes some of my clients like tanking 2 waves of creeps. It's like, well, you could have just like, you know, Lissandra W'd them or whatever, you know, Riven W, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Alright, so what's happening with the waves?
Well, I'm clearing that wave so fast, resetting basically.
Why would it reset?
Because I'm going faster, they're not really stalling out on that wave under tower.
It doesn't matter how much they stall out. If they stop moving for a second, it's going to slow push.
Okay.
So it's slow pushing back to him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's even as little as, right, even if your creep, you see how they like just like toggled onto this cannon here, right? Even if they do this is slow pushing. Even if there was no creeps here now, like you killed all these creeps magically, pressed R flash W, killed them all, right? It's still slow pushing to him. So when you're in this position, right, you know it's slow pushing to him. You don't really like that. You have two options though. If you don't think he recalled, you can basically try to freeze the wave as much as possible, right, and get that big wave to crash, and you might be able to dive him on, like, say, like 3 waves worth of creeps. Or you hard shove this next wave and you also reset. Those are kind of like your options here.
Yeah.
So, and you basically figure out that by whether or not you think that Nah recalled. I think Nah recalled. I think you crashed the wave here and, you know, basically fuck off out of here, go back base, and then run back and kill Nah when the wave's slow pushing back to you.
Yeah. I see Nah's mid, so I try and crash everything.
Yeah.
And get a plate.
And I also think that you should have, when you see Nah mid, right, you like look like you're gonna go, right? I think just hard shove the wave instantly. Because what are the chances you make it to this play?
Yeah, very, very low.
Very low. So just instantly shove the wave. You need to make those decisions quicker because that's kind of like how you create like a small win out of what Nah did, right? Because if Nah makes a good play, you want to see where you can get a small win to like kind of counteract that. Nah gets 300 gold mid, but you deny him 2 waves and take a plate, you're up gold. Does that make sense? Yeah. That's kind of how you want to like view the game through that lens.
It's also a bit disappointed that like wave was on the tower and I get shot.
I don't know. I could see that happening. Oh, the cannon. Pain. All right. So you should do what right now?
Base.
Yeah, I reckon just insta base. Grab your tier 2 boots and come back. Or you could grab Kindle Gem, I guess. Both are fine. I think tier 2 boots is probably better though, because it also matches his tier 2 boots. Okay, so this is like good that you're fucking with them here and making the move. And one of the reasons it's good is because the wave is slow pushing back to you. So Nah is losing more creeps than you're losing here when you get back to wave. Oh, what the hell? This guy is greeting. The Ari, we don't know where she is. Kind of looks like she's still running top, so yeah, I think you make the right decision now. Yeah, look at the wave, right? You only lost 2 creeps for all that. Not bad at all, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, again, I think that you should have taken the reset there. Okay. Should you reset here or should you shove this wave?
I mean, because you're saying something, I assume I should be shoving it.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's not how... That's...
I don't know.
Yeah, that's not how you want to like get to that answer. Yeah, you got the right answer, but you're using the wrong set of skills.
Yeah.
Okay, so look at what Nah's doing here. Look at what we observe. See how he's like running so far back? Presumably, he's going to recall. So you have 2 options here. Because he doesn't pressure this wave at all, you can either... What I would recommend doing, right, is like, because you didn't take your base before, is you kill this creep after the next tower shot, and then you basically just burst these creeps instantly, and then kill the next 2 creeps and reset, right? But see how you're kind of like doing it slow? You could do that so much faster and then instantly recall. You'd be recalled like 3 seconds sooner, and you could get your, whatchamacallit, Gore Drinker, right?
Yeah.
So that's one option. You could just like burst them instantly and go base. The second option is that you burst them and you run up the lane to the enemy tower, basically. And then start hitting the next wave as soon as possible. Because, again, what does that do? It lets your wave run up the lane so it gets closer. And also means you're dealing damage to the enemy's wave quicker because you're intercepting it before it gets to middle. And then you can base and let that wave just be underneath tower and Na's losing as much as possible and you get to run back. And do you see how you get like a small lead there? Like another small little win? Whereas like what you do here, there's no win. Like it's just like even. You're both losing the exact same amount of creeps. And also this doesn't set you up for anything when you get back to lane, right? Like if Na didn't start shoving it in, like you wouldn't have any ability to like, really kill him here or anything, right? It just like sets up like another stalemate. But now that Na's hitting the wave, you kind of have like the ability to kill him soon. I feel like you can just like all in him here. See, like he shouldn't be able to do this, where he's like crashing the wave on you, because he's so weak. I feel like right here you could all in him. Your AoE abilities would just like kill the creep wave anyway, and you have Gore Drinker to his like bits and pieces basically.
Yeah.
And you have a level lead too, and ignite. You know what I mean? There's just only benefits here for you, but like you're not using your lead to like gain a further lead in this instance. Okay, nice.
I back off just because he's going to transform and I don't know what Na does.
Oh, so you like never reverse Na? Like you don't even know what the abilities do?
I versed him twice yesterday. This game was Riven and one game was Fiora, and that's like the only time within the last like 6 months I've seen an R.
Okay. Alright. Fair enough. All good then. Yep. Alright, and okay. Oh, you should all in him here. As soon as he wraps around this bush here, I reckon you ERQW.
Yeah, okay.
And then you can get auto Q, and probably kill him.
Yeah, and I have ignite, so yeah, it should be kill. Yeah, okay.
That's all good. Wait. You don't have quick cast on ult? Wait, are all your abilities on quick cast? Or like is it just your ult that's not on quick cast?
Pretty sure I have quick cast all on, so.
But do you click your ult? What the fuck happens here? Oh, do you have quick cast with indicators? So like you...
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, indicators.
I think that you should turn that off. And just learn your things, right? Like, you know what I mean? Did this indicator in any way help you here?
No. Probably didn't even notice it.
No, but it just got in the road, right? It just like delayed everything coming out. I think you should have looked for the R a little bit sooner. So you could have gone ERW here.
Yeah, I think I underestimated my own damage and didn't actually think I'd kill him.
Yeah, well, the other thing though, ERW, I haven't played Riven in a long time, but doesn't R make your W radius larger?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So, if you ERW, what I'm looking at here, I think you stun him with your W, and then you get the auto Q auto. If that makes sense. And then you might not have to flash, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Okay, what should you do right now?
Reset
Tell me.
On the spot.
No. Why not?
No. Oh, because the enemy wave is about to...
Exactly.
Tower
Nice. Yeah. So you should go stand like basically right at the tower.
Yeah.
Well, one like little trick, right, is like you don't want to stand right at the tower because then the creeps build up like inside the tower range. You can't kill them. So you like stand like here, right? so that you let the creeps get out of tower range, and then you just kill them as quickly as possible there. And then you base. But you don't, in my opinion, like go ward.
And I should get out here, but I just die.
Yeah, you could get out there. Because,
or I could kill her, probably.
I don't know.
Honest,
I think things. No, I think you just fuck up like your wall clip, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like your wall hop.
Yeah.
But yeah, one thing I always see people do is like they go and ward when they think they're getting ganked. What's the point of walking towards the enemy? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You probably even potentially could have even killed this guy, by the way, too.
Yeah, I didn't expect her to double ult so far above me. I was gonna turn to fight her, and then she goes all the way out there, and I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, she just ints. Look, to be honest, actually, you should never kill her. She just ints. And that's the only reason, like, we're looking at this guy and like, oh, we could kill this. It's because, like, she just turbo runs it. We can't count on her turbo running it, though.
Yeah.
Nice. Should Q, like, keep on eating back to wave, etc. Nice. Good clear on the wave. Na's dead. What should we do?
Yeah, just hard shove.
Hard shove, get on the tower, deny him a wave, right? And then you can, like, go and, like, maybe take Grump or something. So if you hard shove this wave and walk through tower, you can shove the next wave. Because look, see where the next wave is? And look at how long Na has on his death timer. And we see Zac and Ari mid. You should walk through the tower, kill the next wave here, and then jump over the wall and kill the Grump.
Mm-hmm.
And like a really cheeky play you could do is if you had a ward, right, you'd leave the ward in the lane, and you could sit on this side of the wall and jump back over, or you could sit in this bush here after you kill the wave and kill the Na. Those are like, you know, higher level plays, but it's also possible. It's like you could have eaten this wave in the middle of the lane, right, and then got into that little bush there. And also Na would be poking you while you kill that wave. Okay, yeah, we start roaming. Run back to lane. We don't really lose anything, so it's pretty nice for roam. So, but I think I'm correct in what I said earlier, where you're roaming because you're not wave controlling to set up like kills.
Yeah.
And that's kind of been actually a theme where you could have been like maybe 6-1 right now. Wait, the longsword? Oh, for sure. We just wait and get a longsword here.
I think I realized that as soon as I leave.
Yeah.
I got this tower. I'm like, wait.
Nah recalled, so we should have shoved that wave instantly. Or, well, Nah didn't recall, but he fucked around. I guess he went and did Grump, maybe? But either way, I think that you should just shove the wave hard there. Ah, hated crab, I guess. Most likely. Okay.
I think about going for the Zac, but then walks there, so...
Yeah, I also thought it was like probably a good play. I was even thinking you could have just 2v1'd them. Because Zac presumably has like low CDs, but... Shove the wave. Okay, now what you should do, in my opinion, is look at like what buffs Zac had. Because I think he doesn't have his blue, so you could like potentially have moved into his jungle after you shove the wave. Look to like potentially take his blue. But if you notice, Na just got his base off. He actually got like, he has a lot of gold now. Whereas before, he had like fuck all, so he hadn't taken a base in forever. If we look back to like wherever you saw him last.
Yeah, he still only had components, and now he has Bramble and Try.
Exactly. So like that's like another thing that just like sucks for you. That you weren't able to like put any pressure on him when he had those like weaknesses kind of thing. Alright. So from this point out, I don't think that anything else really matters that much. And the reason that I think that is because all of the things that you need to do now also happen in the early game. It's all going to come down to like how you set up waves and things like that. Right now, you should be, you know, this game should basically be over in a sense from the top lane perspective. Whereas it's not really. Like when this Na comes back to lane with these items, right? Like your lead isn't really that well represented here when you see him next. You know what I mean? Like when you look at those items, you don't see like, you know, that you dominated lane. You know, he's able to pretty much like kept in a relatively close fashion with you. He's down 1 level, he's down 14 CS, and I think he's down like 1,000 gold. You know, so it's not huge. So all these wave control issues are really where you can get a lead. And I think that you'll probably... I think that you've learnt them, like, just in this one VOD review. Like, as long as you remember them, I'll also send them to you in a note, like, afterwards. But I think that's, like, where, like, the biggest issue that you're facing right now is your mechanics are definitely sufficient for gold, right? Like, you're not making, like, huge misplays. The only time that I think your mechanics aren't, like, good is, like, when you're pushing waves. And I don't particularly know why that is. I think it's just, like, maybe it's, like, counterintuitive to, like, you know, make sure you're facing the right way as your Riven queue when you're killing waves.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you're going to keep seeing this game out, but I do make a lot of mechanical errors later in the game, like, more so than I normally do. I think it's just because first game of the day and I haven't played ranked in a while kind of thing knows, but I do make a lot more mechanical errors than when it goes to team fights. Like here, I royally screw up this fight here.
Okay, yeah, get hit by that.
Like, I just completely whiff on this Kai'Sa.
And you see, actually, you not having quick cast actually cost you a kill here. So if you didn't have indicators on, Kai'Sa dies here. Like, when you press R like that, she's already dead. Because your R would have shot out already. Before you even got stunned.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, she should have died 3 times already, but... just as a good way for me to point out, like, what it's costing you.
Hmm.
And an Echo gets to save Flash. All this actually starts from the very beginning, though, where you get stunned. So what you should do is just, like, E here. Or EQ. You know what I mean? That's all that really needs to change here. If you EQ upwards, you'll probably get, like, 3 kills here. 2 or 3, maybe, I'd say.
Yeah. But yeah, I know I basically just threw for the next 10 minutes. Like, not intentionally, obviously, but the way I play the next 10 minutes is really trash, and then I end up dropping worse than Gnar, and then redeem myself in a couple of good team fights.
You know, I'll definitely watch through, like, a little bit of your mechanics in team fights, but, like, I just think that, like, you know, these things don't really matter because, like, as you improve your lane phase, also these mechanical errors will get patterned out, right? Like, mechanical errors in, like, team fights are just, like, not really that big a deal because, okay, so here's the thing about, like, if you spend your time thinking about how to improve your mechanics in team fights, it's a low return on investment. Because team fights only decide, like, a certain point of the game, right? But you only get to team fights at 20 minutes. That means you've played the whole game prior to that without getting to practice this skill. So if you improve the first 20 minutes and you are always fed when you get to team fights, it doesn't really matter if you play perfectly or not, mechanically. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, not bad. I don't think you kill him anymore until you get Black Cleaver.
Yeah, maybe? I did not expect that burst chunk from him then. No, I just die.
Yeah. Oh. Hold on a second. Not bad, not bad.
Very lucky that Senna ulted.
Yeah. Also, I think this you know, quick casting is costing you a lot.
Okay.
Because, like, look here, right? All right, when we go to your R, okay, yes, you would have missed it, but he flashed, but you still miss it anyway. So it didn't help you in any way. You know what I mean? Like, all it's doing is hindering you and making these abilities come out slower. And it just really really hurts you on a champion like Riven, where you have to be so fast and weave so many abilities. It'll take a little while to get used to, and you'll probably actually lose a couple games when you first put it on because of it being different, but it will help you in the long run for sure.
Okay. Where is that setting? I'll look for it now. I don't know where it even is.
Oh, but no, not something you should know. So if you go to the cogwheel, right?
Yep.
Go to hotkeys, and then you have this ticked on where you want to tick it off.
Yes.
And then basically you just click quick cast all, and then bada bing, bada boom.
Yep. Okay.
And also the best way to get used to it really quickly, just go spend 10 minutes in practice tool, spamming Riven combos, and you'll be like, oh, okay. It's just muscle memory now. Okay, tower taken. I think you should shove this next wave, and you can figure out whether you need to shove the wave there or not, because you can look at your wave. So when you're killing tower here, right, you can see where the enemy wave is if you look down at your minimap. And then because of that, you can then tell whether you need to shove this next wave or not. Right now, you're missing a bunch of creeps in lane for no reason. Whereas, okay, so you die here. So if you had a shove the wave before you died here, at least they would be losing creeps to kill you, right? And you're getting a small win there. Whereas they don't even miss anything to kill you here. Wait, how did I do that? I don't know what button I pressed to go back to 20 minutes. Anyway, you were here. So yeah, this is what you're talking about where you throw, right?
Yep. Which I think my arts, yes, I made a lot of laning mistakes, absolutely, but I think I'm a lot worse post-laning phase.
Yeah, of course.
I misplayed a lot, but I don't often lose laning phases kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then I just don't know what I'm supposed to be doing on Riven post-laning phase. At least I play Fiora, and I know that my job's just push towers.
Yeah, and the reason why you don't know what to do, right, is because you don't have a firm grasp of wave control. See, when you're playing Fiora, you don't need to know wave control. What do? You shove the wave until you either base or die, and then you come back and shove the wave until you hit tower, and you either kill tower, base, or die. You know what I mean? Yeah. But as Riven, you don't really want to kill towers, right? So you don't want to die either. So you have to look for bases that then let the waves be pushing to you so you can kill people. Because you want to catch them out and kill them. Whereas Fiora doesn't necessarily want to kill people. She just if people come to her and she gets to kill them, nice. You know what I mean? She has more flexibility in that area. Riven has to more proactively look out the picks. Whereas Fiora can just wait for people to come to her and try and turn it. And that's why all these things are going to change from the early game for you.
Okay.
Okay, you can shove this wave. Nice, I like the pinging now. Good, good, good. Nice, I like the using spells to kill the wave. Very good. I think you should be using your spells to get here sooner, but I'm not 100% sure. But I think so.
Yeah, I mean, this is just another misplay from me.
Oh my goodness. Oh, yeah, but again, she would be dead here. If you just had the other cast on, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
But she would have died 10 other ways too. You know what I mean? There's 10 misplays here that could kill her. Could have just ignited, right? Could have pressed ults, could have landed more Qs, etc. How come we have more?
For Ari, Morg, Zach.
But are they really doing damage? When was the last time you took damage from Ari, Morgana, or Zach?
Well, I mean, also that's just because Kai'Sa does magic damage as well, was kind of my thoughts.
Yeah, I think that this game is a Death Dance game.
Okay.
Because you just need to think about who you're versing, right? You're yeah, Moore is a good item in this game, but you're just never getting into that position where you're using it. because you're not team fighting. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna get more, you want to like go to the team fights first and like start it with your team and actually utilize it, and not be in the side lane as much. But like just like you can see from the way you're playing that that's like not what you're doing, right? You're looking for more like, 1v1 in the side lane kind of business. Oh, this could be huge.
Die.
Well, imagine you had DD. You know what I mean? That would have been helpful. But the other thing here is, this looks so good.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do we need to do here?
I don't even know.
Okay, so what I think you should do is I think you should RQ here. Now, why is that?
To get my knock up earlier.
Exactly. Because you're not going to have time to necessarily get 3 Qs off here, right? But you would have got a knock up. Now, next thing, who's the threat in this game?
Kai'Sa.
Kai'Sa, okay, so where do you go?
For Gnar and Ahri.
Yeah. And, right, one thing to notice is because of where you're facing, right, and you don't reposition your cursor or click anywhere, you Q this way.
Yep.
And then you Q back onto the Gnar, and also you don't ignite either.
Yeah, I don't think my brain even registered that Ahri's unused.
Yeah. Yeah, that like it's like you like have like the makings of a great play there, but like needs perfection. But again, right, like this, like what are the chances you see that again, right? Low.
Yeah, none.
Okay. Nice. Damn, you're not gonna get any armor for so long. Nice. Nice, nice. Okay. Yeah, but yeah, like you're gonna be able to do so much more when you take this off, this quick casting.
Okay.
You're literally gonna know like night and day difference. You're gonna love it. You're gonna be killing so many more people and like just doing so much more in fights.
Well, I've changed it now, so
Yeah, nice. I'm excited to see the next VOD. Dragon Soul, nice, nice, nice. I think you should ping your teammates to be careful here, you know what I mean? You don't want them to go get aced and die. Especially when you have to be in the base killing creeps, you know what I mean? That's always the worst possible thing. Yep. Yeah, that's so rough. You get stunned there. Oh?
it's Morgana pain. Yeah, if I had Death Stance here, it's actually so much less sketch. You're completely right.
Yeah. The other thing...
Death Stance, I probably live from all the AoE kills and healing.
Yeah. You'd have like an extra 300 health here, and you get the Ahri kill too. Yeah. Oh, you don't get an assist on her when you're in hitter. Also, you just take so much less damage. Also, like, if you look at this fight, right? Probably half the reason you get stunned here is because you're, like, locked into that animation. And also another thing, ignites. Like there's another opportunity where you can ignite the Kai'Sa and just kill her else. Pardon me, sorry. Yeah, again, like look at the magic damage you took in that fight.
Mm.
Like, the tiniest amount. You took 5k damage, but like what? Maybe 1,000 magic damage if that.
This has got to be the longest 1v1 ever, by the way.
Yeah, you keep getting stunned. You want to try and avoid those stuns with all your dashes.
Yeah.
Yep, shove, shove, shove. Shove some more.
And it just ends off with that.
I think that team fighting is not like I watched all the team fights, right? I really think that it's not the focus. It's not really important.
Okay.
Because all these issues that you're facing in team fighting are all there in your skirmishing too. Like they're all going to be there in your 2v2s, your 3v3s. We just didn't get to see that this game because you didn't have those opportunities, right? It was just 1v1s until you got to team fights. So, like that's all going to get panned out as you go through improving your lane phase. Basically, everything pre 15 minutes is where we want to condense our focus. And then everything post 15 minutes, that's like the secondary goal. Like we want to improve it all, but it's just not going to give you a good return on investment. So, it's not a main focus point. I'm going to start writing out some notes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so first big thing, right, is you're missing too many creeps in lane. Basically, this means you won't take damage for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you'll notice in this specific game, right, you got a lot of creeps level 1 that were not free creeps, but you got them for free. But that's just because Gnar was bad, right? Does that make sense? Because like if we go back to level 1, remember how you were always in auto range, but Gnar just for some reason didn't auto you. Alright, the next thing is how you shove waves is going to be a big issue. That's all making sense to you?
Yes.
Easy.
Alright,
the next big issue is going to be wave control and base timers. So I think these two things are interconnected. But basically, you want to be thinking about like, what is the wave doing? Where is the wave going? And then how can I manipulate this to get the best possible situation for myself? I think this also ties into base timers, but you want to use your base timers and wave control to be able to get more kills. Is that making sense to you?
Yes.
Very nice. Alright, so I'm just thinking about what else is like a must improve of this specific VOD. Because not everything I said in the VOD I'll write down in the notes because, the notes is basically going to be what your main focus points are that you're going to get the best return on investment. We don't want to clutter this with too many things because the fewer things that you're focusing on, the quicker you can improve them. I'm just going to put it here. like down the bottom. Hopefully that makes sense to you. If it doesn't, just let me know and I'll like run you through it. There was one other thing. Oh, pardon me. Sorry for cutting you off.
I was just gonna say move clicking. You mean like orb walking kind of thing?
Just like just clicking on the map, just right clicking.
Okay.
There was one thing that I was also on my mind that I wanted to say, but I forgot. It will come back to me. Also, another really big thing, specifically in this game, right, is itemization. I don't normally write itemization, but it like in this specific game, it was like a big thing. This is something that you don't really need to put like a lot of focus on at your level, but it's like something good to like kind of learn in the back of your mind, like your items and runes, but it's also not like the biggest deal. Like, you know, in the grand scheme of things, more is just not a bad item on your champion and like in most games, but like, you know, we do want to try and perfect that slowly where you are building the best items for every specific game. Fuck. Back to me. My apologies. Yeah,
That's right.
it will probably come back to me, and I'll write it in your notes, like, and send it to you. I'll, like, edit the notes that I sent you in DMs.
Yeah, that's cool. Can I ask just a couple of
Yeah,
other
you can
miscellaneous
ask as many
questions?
questions as you'd like.
Um, so I don't know if you can upload to YouTube, but these ones probably would rather you didn't put in a YouTube video.
Oh,
So,
no worries. Yeah, easy.
but
I'll close it. One sec, mate.